Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to lecture number 60 of our series of Python for oil and gas. Till now, we have covered a lot of topics, and I hope I'm trying my best, and I hope I'm being successful in teaching you some in easy language some important concepts of Python. So in today's video, I'm coming back to the functions topic again. There are a few important concepts in functions which I need to teach you. So let's get started with this video right away. Okay, so you must have seen the thumbnail of this video or the title of this video. You must have heard what you must have think by yourself that what is this star args, right? This is basically nothing. This is just known as a star operator. It's just a way to write the star operator. I'll tell you how do we use it in inside of functions. Now what we have done is I have created a function. I created again. I just create a function just that adds the two numbers. So what I can do is define, this is my function name. It takes two values inside it and it returns the addition of this both of the values. So when now this I have defined my function. Now if I go and I run this function, let's say I do 5,6, it will give me 11, right? If I do now 12 plus 6 and I call this function again, it will give me 18. So it works fine, it works perfectly, right? But now let's say if I go 12 6, I just want to give another input. Let's say I want to add another 12 to it. So this will show me an error because it takes what this error is that it is takes two positional arguments but three were given. That is correct because inside a function we have just defined that it takes a two number of characters only, two inputs only, and it will just add those two inputs. If I exceed the number of inputs, it will give me an error. It will not add all those values. So if I go for this one also, it will give me an error. So how to cope up with this problem? We have an operator called star operator. What star operator does is, what star operator will do, define add. Now my function is addition. Just to separate it out from add, I have just created a function named addition. You simply write what you write star and you write args here, and then afterwards you must have I will write the code. You will understand why I'm writing that code by yourself only. So let's say I have a total, my variable name total, which is 0 initially. What I'll do is I'll just run a loop inside my args. So for I in args, I will simply add total plus what is my I, and then I'll exit the for loop. Now I am inside my function addition. What it will return? It will return me the final value of total. So this is how you define a function using args. If you haven't understood, I will explain to you once again. I will come back to it. Just let's check if it is working or not. So addition, now I say, let's say I want to add two numbers, 5 plus 2. This gives me 7. Now let's say I want to add another 3 to it. It gives me 10, right? I want to add another 45 and 798. It will give me 853, which is the correct value. So this is how args makes your life comfortable, more comfortable, because now you can input as many as number of values inside that. It will do the addition of all these values. Now let us understand why I have written this code again. I have done it many times again as well. What it is doing is, initial value of my total is 0. First of all, let us understand what is this args. So what I'll do is I'll just make another function here, define. I'll just write here func. My function name is func. What it takes is star operator I'll write, and what it returns me, it will just return me all the arguments which I'm writing inside my function. It will just return all the values of args inside, right? I have defined this function. Now if I call this function, now because I have used args, what I can do is I can input as many number of values I have told you in the previous example. So I'll just enter 1 2 3 and let's see how this will give me results. So this is giving me 1 2 3 as it is, but now this is a tuple, right? This is a tuple. So let us check the type of this func. You see it is showing me a tuple, right? Now if I again call my function. Now this time I input my values 45, 78 and 5.65, anything. So it will return me all the values because I have created a function which is returning me args itself. So that is why it is returning me all themselves, but this returns it me in the form of a tuple. So if I change it to, let's say 5.65 from, I just enter a list here, 1, 2 and 3. Great. So this is again a tuple, right? Inside a tuple I have a list because I gave input as a list here. So this is how args function works. It will return any of them, means it stores all of the data in the form of a tuple. So now when I call this function, when I define this function is I have given the initial value of total equals to 0, no problem inside it. Now I'll just rewrite it again, 5, 2 and let's say 3 only. So when I call this function, so this is the args value, right? Now this 5 to 3 has been stored in the form of tuple. So my args equals to, I'll write here, you'll understand better, args equals to my tuple, that is 1, 2, 3 in this scenario, in this case of example, sorry, 5 to 3. So when I call a for loop here, what it will does is the first value of I will be 5, right? So it will add 5 plus initial value of total is 0, right? So my total becomes 5 here. So my total becomes 5 here. Sorry, my total becomes, after 0 it becomes 5 here, right? Now when it again comes to this loop, then I becomes 2 here. So now my initial value of total becomes 5 and I becomes 2. So my this total again becomes 7. So now I becomes again 3 because it will go here, and then 3 plus any previous value of total, that is 7. So my total becomes 10, right? So this is how this is working, this function is working, and I have returned the final value of total, and so my final value of total is nothing but 10. So this is how a args function works inside a function. Great. Now let's see, now define a function which will add all the values given inside it. I have already given you example of this in this scenario. You can also input let's say I'll give you example of complex numbers 5 plus 2j, and my second input is 1 plus 8j, right? If I see this, it will also giving me addition of these values. And now if I input two lists in this function, let's say my first list is 1, 2 and my second list is 3, 4. If I see the result, okay, unsupported apparent time for integer. This is happening, I'll tell you in a few minutes. Just please wait, just be patient. I'll tell you why this is happening. So this is, I'll get same error in case of even if I want to add instead of list, even if I want to go for strings. Let's say my two inputs, my name is Divyansh and my second input is my last name Sethi. It will also give me the same error. I'll tell you why this is happening in few minutes. For now on, let's just skip to the another example. Now what it is saying me, now define a function which will multiply all the values given inside it. So this function which we have created, this was giving me the addition of all the values. Now if I create for multiplication, what I'll have to do, you just write define your function name, let's say mul, and I'll write args here, because args I don't have the limit, then I can use as many as numbers I want. I input numbers I want. So this time let's, for example, when in previous case we take a variable of total equals to 0, so this time what I'll take is I'll take a total multiply variable name, this time multiply variable name, and it consists of a 0 value. Then if I run for I in my args, it will learn, means it will be a loop on that tuple which is stored in this args value. Then what I want to do is in multiply equals to, means multiply store into I, whatever the value of I is, I exit the for loop. Now I am inside my function mul, then I return the value of final value of multiply. So let's see if this is working. I have created a function, I have defined the function has been defined. Now if I call my function and I input two values, let's say 2 into 3, it should give me a 6, but it will give me a 0, I think. Yes. Why this is happening? Because see, now my value of args is nothing but 2 comma 3. Great. But what I have doing is my initial value of multiply is 0 here. So for I, when my I becomes 2, I am multiplying this 2 with this multiply, which is nothing but 0 already. So multiply just remains 0 in after every steps. So what I can do is I can simply change this multiply to equal to initial value of multiply to 1. Now if I run this code, now see, I'm getting the good result. Now if I equals to 2, so it becomes that 1 equals to 2. Why this one? Because I have mentioned here 1. Now my final value of multiply becomes 2. Okay, great. Now after 2, that I becomes 3. So my previous multiply value was 2 into the I, which is 3 now. So it will become 6. So the final value of multiply becomes 6. So similarly, if I want to add any other number, so it will be 24. It will multiply all the numbers. I can do it with anything. So I can do for 8 also. So this is how a function args this works, star operator works inside a function. It becomes very easy for us. One more thing is that you can use anything after this star, but majority of people use args after star. What I mean is that I have this is the main operator, that star which is there, that is what is the main operator here. This args we can write anything after that star value. Let's say we can write ABC also. So now here my loop will be running in ABC. I'll get the same result this time as well. See, I'm getting the correct results. So but majority of people, this is a standard notion that they use args. That is why I am using args here. I'll change it to args again. Great. So now I'm sure that you are comfortable with this, how star operator is working. Now let's see one more thing. Yes, I'll come back to that example which was showing me error. First of all, I want to see if my mul operator is multiplying my strings or not. So if I go Divyansh and say my second name is City, it will again give me an error. Can't multiply sequence by known integer of type str. I'll tell you why this is happening. So let's get back to the previous example. Now what was happening here, I'll just do it again in the next code. Okay, so this was my function, right? So if my integer is working fine in this function, my complex number is fine, and any numerical value will work fine unless I add some other data type. So if I'm adding this one, Divyansh, and I'm adding Sethi to it, this will give me error because what is happening here? Let's just go back to the code. So what it means is that our initial value of total is 0, no doubt in that, because we have defined that. So whatever I value becomes, it will the first value of I will get added to the 0, right? So my 0 plus the first value of I in this case will be what? Divyansh, right? So basically I am adding 0 plus my string Divyansh. But 0 is an integer, right? 0 is a integer and Divyansh is a string. You can't add an integer to a string. That is why it was not happening to list as well. If I change my this strings to let's say my list 1 comma 2 and say 3 comma 4, and if I want to add it, so this time my first value of I becomes this list, whole list 1 comma 2. So this time I'm adding 0 plus the list 1 comma 2, right? Which is not operable in Python, because we are adding an integer to a list which does not give us any results. So what can I do in this case is, you can simply replace here 0 with the empty list. So now what happens is I am just adding a empty list plus 1 comma 2, right? then my final value of total word becomes 1 comma 2 new list, and then after I can add 3 comma 4. If I see the results now, if I have to execute it first, I'll execute this code, and now if I run this code again, you can see now I'm getting the result, because now this time instead of adding of this list to a 0, we are just adding it to a list. So list plus list gives me a list. Similarly, when I was here for a string as well, so Divyansh comma Sethi, and it was a 0, this will give me error because I am adding 0 plus a string. So what I can simply do is I can simply replace this 0 by a string which is empty, right? I just run this code and then I execute this code. You can see now it is operating. So what is happening here now, this time it is adding a empty string, that is this empty string, no space is there, and then plus my string, this is also another string. So this is how this code works. Great. Now I have already told you that it stores the data in a tuple type. That is why we are able to run a for loop inside that. So this is everything I wanted to tell you in this part of the video. In second part, we'll learn more about args, that is star operator. And yes, that's it guys. Thank you for joining. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you.